Good evening and welcome to Ukraine Brief. I'm Maciej Mikos. Today marks day 1456 since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Here are the latest stories of the day. Ukraine and Russia abruptly concluded the second day of US-brokered peace talks this afternoon in Geneva. The negotiations unraveled after only 2 hours. The brief talks were intended to cover the most contentious issues that have thus far hindered peace efforts. Ukraine's chief negotiator, Rustem Umerov, said that the discussions took place in working groups divided between political and military topics. Two sources familiar with the talks reportedly told a correspondent for Axios that the political negotiations stalled owing to the positions of Russia's chief negotiator, Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The Ukrainian delegation briefed President Zelenskyy on the outcomes of the meeting today, with additional details expected when the delegation returns to Ukraine. Following the talks in Geneva, Zelenskyy seemingly confirmed reports of strained political negotiations, telling reporters on a WhatsApp group that more progress was made on military negotiations.
Regarding the military track, I heard progress. On the political track, there was a dialogue and they agreed to continue. I did not hear the same level of progress there as on the military track.
Ukraine's chief negotiator, Rustem Umerov, said in a press conference today that while progress had been made, concrete proposals still need approval from President Zelenskyy.
There is progress, but no details can be disclosed at this stage. The next step is to achieve the necessary level of consensus to submit the developed decisions for consideration by the presidents. Our task is to prepare a practical, not merely formal, foundation for this. Ukraine remains constructive. The ultimate objective is unchanged, a just and sustainable peace.
Political tensions are heating up between President Zelenskyy and Valerii Zaluzhnyi, the former commander-in-chief of Ukraine's armed forces. Zaluzhnyi has accused the president of mishandling the 2023 counteroffensive against Russia. In an interview with the Associated Press released today, Zaluzhnyi said that the 2023 counteroffensive sought to liberate a portion of the Zaporizhzhia region with a concentrated push towards the Sea of Azov. This was intended to cut logistics routes between Crimea and occupied eastern regions. Zaluzhnyi accused the president of instead spreading out troops so that no concentrated front was formed. In the interview, Zaluzhnyi also recounted a previously untold story, saying that Ukraine's State Security Service raided his office in 2022 as an act of intimidation. The agency has denied this claim. Zaluzhnyi was ultimately dismissed from his duties in 2024 and was subsequently appointed as the Ukrainian ambassador to the United Kingdom. He remains a popular figure in Ukraine, with some suggesting he intends to pursue a political career. Russia continues striking Ukraine, killing at least 5 people and injuring 30 more in attacks over the last day. Russian attack drones struck a private home in the Sumy region overnight yesterday, killing an elderly woman. At the time of the attack, she was inside with her 2 grandchildren and their parents, one of whom was injured. Approximately 60 kilometers north in the city of Sumy, Russian forces struck an apartment building yesterday, causing a fire on the 5th floor. The same building was attacked a second time later that day. Preliminary reports indicate that 6 people were injured as a result of the attack. In the Donetsk region, Russia's bombardment of civilian areas continued, killing 3 people. Russian forces also targeted the eastern city of Zaporizhzhia yesterday. At least 1 person was killed and 6 more injured in the attack that hit residential buildings. In the Kherson region, Russian shelling against civilian areas injured 6 people. Damage was also reported to educational and medical facilities. In the western region of Ivano-Frankivsk, a bomb detonated inside a military enlistment center early this morning. The regional prosecutor's office declared the incident a terrorist act, although it remains unclear who was behind the attack. Russian forces continue systematically targeting civilians in frontline areas with short-range drones. In Izium, just 30 kilometers away from the active frontline, Ukraine has continued to install drone nets to protect civilians and military personnel as Russia attacks cars and buses along different parts of the front. Ukraine imposed sanctions on Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko today for allowing Russia to use Belarus as a hub for drone and other military operations. President Zelenskyy also pointed to the approximately 3,000 Belarusian firms that supply the Kremlin with military components.
Today, Ukraine imposed a package of sanctions against Alexander Lukashenko, and we are significantly intensifying our efforts to counteract all forms of his complicity in the killing of Ukrainians. We will work with partners to ensure this has a global impact.
Disqualified Ukraine athlete Władysław Haraskevich slammed the International Olympic Committee for its decision to allow Russia and Belarus to send athletes to next month's Milano Cortina Paralympics.
I really hope that also now some Italian parliament and Italian people will also interfere, and I hope that they will also pay attention on that matter. Because it's definitely a big mistake. These athletes are former soldiers who was part of army who was killing Ukrainians yesterday. Today they will also kill Ukrainians by spreading Russian propaganda. So it's totally wrong.
And that's all from Ukraine for today. Thank you for watching, and stay with us for more here on TVP World and tvpworld.com.